Welcome back to Radio Entrepreneurs. And again, I want to thank our hosts last week, Tarlo Breedhart and Rogers and Mark Furman for hosting us. We're back in the MTP Software Studios. Nice to be home again. Thank you very much. Our next guest, not a first-timer, still coming back again, Stephen Bonder, partner Blum Shapiro. And last time you were here a few years ago, you talked about taxes. This time we're going to update it and talk about the Wayfair tax bill that was passed.
Yeah.
But first, who is Blum Shapiro and who is Stephen Bonder?
Thank you. Blum Shapiro is a regional business advisory professional services firm providing tax assurance service and business advisory services to middle market, lower middle market companies. We pride ourselves in our deep industry technical knowledge and expertise. And we also have, because we're providing services to privately held companies, we take an interesting perspective on how we differentiate ourselves from our competitors in the marketplace. Where we focus not only on the business enterprise, but we're also focusing on the family enterprise because many of our clients are family-owned businesses. And this is the way we think we differentiate ourselves and can add significant value to the relationship.
And how long have you been there?
So Blum Shapiro is originally founded in West Hartford, Connecticut in the early 1980s. It then reached a particular size and decided in its growth plans to expand to Rhode Island and Massachusetts. About 5 years ago, we merged with Blum Shapiro. We were formerly Friedman, Suval, and Salomon, located in Newton. And it's been a great decision because of all the technical expertise that a much larger firm has to offer. So we're very pleased to have done that several years ago. And thankfully, in Massachusetts particularly, Blum's growth rate has been about 18 to 20% over the last 5 years.
You're quite aggressive and entrepreneurial yourselves, aren't you?
Yeah, oh, sure. This it's the growth is the oxygen that keeps the business alive, and we're very much focused on providing new and innovative services to our client base, particularly outsourced back office services like bookkeeping, right through to CFO services, HR, human resources, cybersecurity, and a whole host of information technology type services, Office 365 implementation, software selection and implementation. So it's really a
full solution,
turnkey under one roof, working with a team that really cares about our client success.
Good. So what is this Wayfair tax, or as Chris would say, the North Dakota Wayfair tax?
So interestingly enough, about a year ago, June of 2018, the Supreme Court came out with a new decision called known as the Wayfair case, a company here in Massachusetts, where they were doing internet sales across the country, and many.
I just bought something from them.
That's great, Jeff. Are you enjoying it?
Yes, it met my wife's approval.
Good, good. Does the dog sit on it more than you do, or?
No, the dog can't get up that high.
Yeah. Which was really a landmark decision, which reversed essentially the Quill decision from the early 90s, which essentially said, the Wayfair case essentially said that if you have economic nexus in a state, you will most likely be subject to the collection of sales tax from your end user customers. In the past, you had to have a physical presence in the state to have nexus in that sales tax withholding requirement. So this is a big change, a big burden on companies, particularly that sell over the internet, that sell through mail order. It's a significant change in how companies need to address these tax issues. All the states, as we know, are very hungry for revenue, and their tentacles are out. And there are some states that are extremely aggressive, particularly the Midwestern states, Ohio, Wisconsin, Michigan, Illinois. They all have offices in New England looking at companies who are doing economic activity in those states and want to collect their sales tax. California is very, very aggressive. There are some de minimis provisions that if you're selling less than $100,000 or $250,000, depending on the state, fewer than a couple of hundred transactions. These requirements, you're not subject to the requirements. However, you could be selling 300 $1 items into a state and have economic nexus and need to be collecting this sales tax from your end user customers. And this also grows into potentially an income tax issue as well, now that you might have a filing requirement for income taxes in the state as well. So if you're based in Massachusetts or Connecticut or Rhode Island, you may be filing in several states around the country.
Wow. Does this affect a lot of your clients?
What we're doing for our clients now is we're performing what we call Nexus Studies. So we're talking with them to understand their revenue cycle. How do they represent themselves in the states? Do they have independent sales reps? Do they have people who are traveling into the state to solicit customers in the state? How do they present themselves on Amazon, as an example? Do they have clubs or other folk representing them in the state? All these things generate potential nexus issues, and we help our clients understand what those business risks are, and they independently decide whether or not they want to begin to collect and remit the sales tax or not. But they are informed about what the risks are, and we've done lots of studies over the past year, particularly since this Wayfair issue was decided. When it first came out in late June last year, I sent probably 10 of my clients an update on this issue, and I would say within 2 days, and this was during the July 4th week, I'd say within 2 days we were doing 8 Nexus studies out of those 10 clients that I had contacted. People are very concerned about it. As an example, if you're thinking about potentially selling your company, there may be legal issues that you're making reps and warranties in your asset purchase agreement that you have filed in all requisite jurisdictions. So you have to be informed as to whether or not that's going to be an accurate representation or not. You have a state like California, where not only do you have the state tax, but you have local and municipal taxes as well. So this is a huge, huge issue. There are probably in this country at least 10,000 taxing jurisdictions, and you have to really understand what's going on.
Pretty complicated.
It is. That's why people should call Blum Shapiro to help work through the issues, do a Nexus study, and help you be a very well-informed business owner.
Well, again, if people just tuned in, we have been speaking with Stephen Bonder, partner Blum Shapiro, about taxes, Nexus, Wayfair tax. Stephen, if somebody's looking for Blum Shapiro and you specifically, how would they find you?
Well, they can obviously visit www.blumshapiro.com. In Massachusetts, we have 3 offices, one in Quincy, Newton, and in Boston, and soon to be open in Worcester. In Connecticut, we have 2 offices, West Hartford and Shelton, and in Rhode Island, we're located in Cranston, Rhode Island.
Great. Thanks a lot. You're going to come back sooner, right?
I hope so. This was a pleasure to be here with you today.
I actually like having you here. And,
Thank you.
We have Frank Rudowitz coming, and, if we could just reschedule him, and he's unbelievable.
Frank is a great guy, great addition to the firm, and a real expert in the things that he does.
He's great at what he does. And my name is Jeffrey Davis, and if you want to find me, that's MAGE LLC, and it's J Davis at MAGE, MAGE USA.com. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back with more stories on Radio Entrepreneurs.